Hello, dear friends. You didn't born into this significant historical moment just to survive. You were born to own it. Decide your future. Then lengthen your stride, quicken your pace, and go for it. Opinion piece. Prophetic days. Forecasts. Moral decline. Loss of values. Prophetic storm. Apocalyptic signs. Biblical warnings. Shortening of days. Judgment and hope. Let's start. These are the days the prophets warned about. Ricky Scapero interprets recent events as prophetic signs of the last days mentioned in the Bible. It also analyzes contemporary events in light of biblical passages, arguing that today's society reflects prophetic warnings about moral decline, apostasy, and the challenges for those who seek to live according to their faith. Examples of social changes are mentioned, such as the portrayal of Jesus by bisexual actors, and passages from 2 Timothy 3 and Jude are cited, highlighting the characteristics of the last days, such as the loss of values, blasphemy, and persecution of the righteous. It also mentions instances of violence against Christian leaders and growing hostility toward traditional views. The message emphasizes that although injustice and wickedness appear to prevail, the Bible promises a final judgment and the vindication of the faithful. The importance of grace and patience in the current age is mentioned. Believers are encouraged to stand firm, to be light and salt in the midst of darkness, and not to give in to cultural pressures contrary to their faith. The message invites listeners to interpret current events as the fulfillment of prophetic warnings, urging spiritual vigilance, prayer, and hope in the promised redemption. The importance of not losing faith in the midst of difficult times is emphasized, recalling Jesus' words in Luke 21:28. When these things begin to happen, hold your heads up, because your redemption is near. Prophetic storm. How long can this continue? A prophetic storm is brewing. Silver and XRP are about to explode with the Russian Gate scandal, opines Bo Polney, who links recent geopolitical events with expectations of a strong bullish movements in the silver and XRP cryptocurrency markets. This prediction is supported by real fundamentals: industrial demand, institutional buying, geopolitical tensions, and expectations of expansionary monetary policies. There is a consensus that both silver and XRP could experience significant upward movements in 2025. The growing use of silver in green technologies, especially solar panels and electric vehicles, is driving demand for silver. Interest rate cuts and significant silver purchases by central banks are anticipated, including Russia, which announced the acquisition of $535 million in silver over the next 3 years. Silver has been in a supply deficit since 2021, a situation that is expected to continue in 2025. In scenarios of geopolitical crisis and distrust in fiat currencies, XRP is viewed by some as a safe haven or speculative asset. Analysts agree that the prolonged conflict and sanctions maintain a high risk premium on commodities and raw materials, favoring assets such as silver and, to a lesser extent, cryptocurrencies like XRP. Tensions between Russia and the West, exacerbated by political scandals and sanctions, have generated volatility in commodity markets and alternative assets. Furthermore, the Russian market has experienced declines following statements and threats of sanctions, affecting the energy, financial, and metal sectors. Opinions. According to Clandestine, the swamp may be drained. While the public is distracted by the Epstein frenzy, Trump has been quietly patching movement agencies en masse now that he has received the green light from the Supreme Court to unblock his executive order. Ismael Perez argues that the era of technological singularity is already here, with artificial intelligence acting as an invisible overlord that manipulates the weather and controls global structures, amidst a profound geopolitical and spiritual conflict, and suggests that we are at a crucial moment of change and revelation for humankind. The dark twin continues to approach Earth in their shared orbit. Known to the ancients and depicted in many comics, it can now be seen in broad daylight, causing shock waves of gravitational repulsion. Counter-Earth is a body in the solar system orbiting on the other side of Earth. It was proposed by the pre-Socratic Greek philosopher Philolaus to support his non-geocentric cosmology. In modern times, this refers to a hypothetical planet that is always on the other side of the Sun from Earth. It has been counter-Earth and has been a recurring theme in UFO claims. According to Kapamur, the Galactic Federation wants to be seen without causing fear, so they partially blend in with human ships and allow the military to document them. Biblical angles are the space people. Scripture clearly states that supernatural messengers walk among us, performing miracles and traveling in clouds and flying chariots. According to the family of Tayeta, genetic material is not entirely physical, as many believe. The spirit is the component that expresses DNA. This means that the genetic code can be modified by the sacred spirit of all life. There are frequency downloads from higher beings that are crucial to our awakening, with gifts of wisdom and new perspectives. Infiltration. The protagonist of the Tayetan Pleiadian disclosure, Robert from the Despejando Enigmas channel and Gosia from the Cosmic Agency channel, have made a public complaint about the existence of infiltration into Tayetan disclosure coming from Mary Swa's official Swaro channel. According to their testimony, they detected the presence of an unknown dark entity impersonating the original senders of the Pleiadian information. According to the Intel SCIF, this is the most sophisticated psychological operation ever executed to dismantle the largest criminal enterprise that have ever existed. Some things won't make sense and are designed to play on your emotions, and you won't have all the information. We didn't get this far in vain. Have faith. Think big. Step back to observe. Don't worry about the noise of everyday life. Focus on the objective. Are alien medical beds a magic cure for disease and aging? According to Yelila Star, the beds use nanotechnology and would transform anyone who undergoes this technology, becoming more receptive to the AI, and even controlled by it. Furthermore, she points out that the use of this technology would not resolve the underlying emotional trauma that caused the illness. Consequently, Starr prefers the benefits of self-healing, which can be achieved by connecting with one's higher self, soul or source energy, and unleashing one's inherent healing abilities. Pessimists and doomsayers, according to Ariel Proletariat 1. When such people prematurely declare a catastrophe, they entrench themselves in their position out of pure defiance and refuse to reevaluate their opinion under any circumstances. Their ego precludes any possession of fallibility, and they demand unwavering trust from their audience at all costs. In this way, they resort to tangential reasoning and reframe their original claim from a new perspective to evade rigorous scrutiny. They persist in this path until their narrative is dismantled by empirical reality with irrefutable evidence. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.